It's not every day that I get a Volt in that's had diesel put in the fuel tank, but that's the case with this one right here. It was brought in, towed in actually, and everything was completely dead. It would power up and the engine would start, but it would stall shortly later because of the diesel fuel, and the hybrid battery was completely drained. So they went as far as they could on the hybrid battery and the engine quit because of the diesel, and then they couldn't go any further. So it does start. The exhaust starts to get smoky and then it stalls. So I took a sample of the fuel and it's for sure diesel, there's no doubt about that. So I took the little fuel line off and I have this little rubber hose here connected to the fuel line, and I'll hook that up to our pump outside to pump all the diesel out. But this ought to be pretty interesting. I've never had to purge the fuel system on a hybrid vehicle before, slash hybrid electric, whatever you want to call this thing. I call it a hybrid electric because it still has an internal combustion engine. So there's a fuel line that I took off. Makes it easier to put a rubber hose on it. But it takes an extremely long time just sucking it through the fuel pump. So what I did here was I pulled up the electrical schematics for the vehicle, found out where I can hotwire the fuel pump into the on position. So we're looking for circuits number 120 and 1580. Go over to the other tab here at the connector end view. There's number 120 and there's number 1580. So we're looking for a gray wire and we're looking for a black wire with a light green tracer. That's what those color codes mean. And those are easy to find, simple enough. They're right here, number 13, which is that one, and number 38, which is this one right here. In the back of the Volt, behind the quarter panel, that's the connector I'm going for right there. So once I get it outside, I'll unplug it, and then I have a couple little pins here that I can tap into the connector with. Got my jump leads and a jump pack. So because of the diesel fuel, the engine is stalled, but there is no battery power, so the vehicle can't go anywhere. That's why it had to be towed in. And here I've got the suction line hooked up to the fuel line there with a little rubber hose, and this runs over to the defueler here. So all I've got to do is flip the switch on and then connect the fuel pump, which is jumpered with the jump box in the back. It'll pump all the fuel out of the tank, and I can refill it with gasoline. Let's see if it'll start here. She isn't all that happy.